Deep in the night in one of the houses of the Tang family, the three useless retards are talking about what to do. Ever since Tang Yeon-myeong's mother took over the head of the family, their positions have further weakened. Both of them are complaining this to the second elder Tang Yeon-myeong, but he is not sure why they are telling him all this. He blames all of their downfall on the former Poison King Tang Jiak and his son the white-haired monkey. He points his hands towards the white-haired monkey, making a face full of anger, telling him that it's because of him that couldn't gauge the opponent's strength and kept on making enemies with Yeon-myeong. The white-haired monkey can't do anything but listen, as the elder tells him that the duo of father and son is ruining everything he has built his entire life. The white-haired monkey thinks to himself that the elder is incompetent, that he can't even stand up to the family head. That's because he is not delusional like this brainless monkey. Hearing all the insults, he daydreams of healing his arm and take revenge on Yeon-myeong. I mean, there is a limit to how delusional someone can be. Tang Jiak asks the elder what plan the elder has, since like the other elders it's hard for them to maintain their forces. Hearing this, the elder clenches his hand and tells him that he is aware of their situation. He makes a face full of anger and tells them that it is best for them to leave the family. Moving to another place, a guard is telling Yeon-myeong that they have reached the warehouse where the Tang family stores the extreme and 10 poisons. As for Yeon-myeong, he is thinking in his mind to him and that this place was originally managed by the third elder, but due to his neglect it was transferred to Orchard along with the poison hall. The guards who are guarding the warehouse see Yeon-myeong and greet him, so Yeon-myeong thanks them for their hard work. One of them tells Yeon-myeong that before he goes inside he should take a pill. Seeing it, Yeon-myeong tells him what it is. The guard tells him that this is a poison-repelling pearl, which will block the toxic air inside the warehouse, and just holding it inside his mouth will filter most poison and keep them from invading the body. Yeon-myeong shocks the guard by telling him that he doesn't need it. Chad makes an excuse and tells him that since it has to be held in the mouth, many people including the third elder have probably held and sucked on it. The guard tells him that it's cleaned after every use so he can use it. Yeon-myeong tells him that it's not required since he can't get poisoned. The guard is adamant and Yeon-myeong gets very angry since poison is his main source of food. Dude was doing just his job but got a beating instead as Yeon-myeong orders the other guard to open the door for him. Going inside the warehouse, it is maintained very well with everything properly organized. Walking further into the room, the air is filled with extreme poison as Yeon-myeong thinks that organized, probably because this is where they store the 10 poisons. Yeon-myeong now knows why they were so worried before letting him in without the pill. If an ordinary person entered without the poison-repelling pill, they would have died instantly. Though Yeon-myeong's inner energy has decreased due to his meridians being sealed by the poison vein simulation technique, even the concentration of poison is increasing further down. But to someone like him who has mastered the poison refining heart technique, it is as pure as clean area. As Yeon-myeong breathes in the poison, his inner energy is increasing, but it is still not enough to make him use his martial arts like earlier. So Yeon-myeong is thinking hard and figure out that he should consume something equivalent to the 10 poisons. According to the family regulation, he can use the 10 poisons for consumption. He thinks that he can find the recipe and tell Ijan to make it for him. That's when he notices something on the wall. Yeon-myeong thinks something is strange, so he uses his inner energy to see that the airflow in the middle of the room is distorted, so it's more like a formation has been placed there. Chad decides to check it out, and after placing his hand on it, Yeon-myeong thinks that it's strange that there is a formation in the Tang family poison storage. The thing is that it doesn't seem to be done by the Jegal family. To confirm his doubts, Yeon-myeong takes out his dagger and infuses it with his inner energy. He makes a strike and splits the formation in half, but he gets shocked to see what behind the formation. There is a long passage blocked by talisman with the word prohibited written on it. After carefully looking at them, Yeon-myeong figure out that this is not the work of the Jegal family, but it was made by the magician's formation. According to Yeon-myeong, in his previous life his master has connections with several magicians. Like his master was obsessed with the sword, a magician is obsessed with sorcery, ultimately seeking master sorcery and transcend human limits to become immortals. Yeon-myeong had a bad memory where he was thrown into a formation created by a magician, in the form of training by his master. According to him, it was a place full of beasts whose names even he didn't know. Magicians are typically selfish and only engage in things that interest them, but that still doesn't answer his question why there is a formation in the Tang family. His master in his previous life told him that magicians are inherently selfish creatures, and are always obsessed with spirits and demon only seeking immortality. Yeon-myeong asks him how he managed to have a relationship with them. He makes a straight face and tells him that he beat them every day for no reason, so they begged him to have a conversation. Moving to the present, Yeon-myeong thinks there is not anyone in this family like his master, so there is probably something in the Tang family that piques the interest of a magician. The poison is so strong that it is leaking out even after being sealed with hundreds of talismans, so inside there is something with incredible poison power. Yeon-myeong is glad because he originally intended to write down the recipes of the 10 poisons if he could, but this is more interesting currently. As our Chad goes further inside, a voice from the deepest ends senses that someone has entered the seal. It's not an inconspicuous time and it is not aware how much time has passed, while that doesn't matter as long as our Chad releases him. At the end of the passage, Yeon-myeong finds a few of the 10 poisons that were said to be completely lost, but in reality it was hidden here all along. Beside it there is a huge jar wrapped around in talismans which seems ominous to him. Yeon-myeong places has to feel a strong rebound. The force created was tremendous, so it seems that it's harder to break than most formations. However, to our Chad it's not very difficult as long as he cuts through each one of them with accuracy. As he cuts through the talismans all around the room, he think of cutting the ones placed on the jar, as Yeon-myeong does a set of multiple moves to cut them all down. His inner energy has decreased due to the poison vein simulation technique, or else he would have finished all this in a single strike. None of it matters now as our Chad managed to cut down the ones surrounding the jar. The poisons around the jar has gotten much stronger now that the talismans have been removed, as Yeon-myeong places his hand to open the lid. Inside there is a mysterious monster, shocked to notice that the power of the talisman bounded to him have died down, so now he can see the day of the light. Yeon-myeong gets wary as the jar explodes, making a huge explosion. Luckily Yeon-myeong managed to dodge it in the nick of time, or else he would be injured. The thing inside charges towards our boy, startling our boy, as it is faster than what he had expected. He gathers energy to attack and have the first strike before it gets here. But before he could do anything, it goes past his hand like wind, telling our Chad that he has a sharp reaction. As a rewards for releasing him, this trash will kill our Chad without any pain. Hearing this, Yeon-myeong turns behind and asks him who he is. The trash proudly tells Yeon-myeong that he is the pinnacle of poison, the blue-horned white snake. Little does this snake know he is a lottery to our boy, as he can have unlimited poison as a drink now. This is it for this part. If you want to support me, please check out my other channel and watch the latest video. This helps fund my video. Until next time.